And a very good day to you, and welcome to Family Time. I want to speak to you about being faithful. That is such an important thing, a fruit actually of the Spirit, faithfulness, in God's economy. Because our God is a faithful, righteous God. Now, if we look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 24. Faithful is he who has called you, who will also do it. So God is faithful. You see, it's in his nature. It's the way he is, and he wants you and me also to be faithful people. If we go to Matthew chapter 25 and verse 21, it's a parable that the Lord told, and this is what it says. His Lord said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord." The Lord wants you and I to live a life of faithfulness. You know, the other morning I was riding my bike very early before the sun came up. It was dark. It was also very misty. Okay? And I was riding alongside an airstrip. And there was an aeroplane on the apron about to take off. And I thought to myself, Lord, that aeroplane can see nothing. Those two pilots, it was a King Air, I think, and it was full of passengers. And I was praying for them. But those pilots couldn't see anything. They were concentrating on a small instrument panel in the front of the plane. They couldn't see where they were going. Now, they had faith that that instrument panel would not let them down. How much faith do you and I have that Jesus Christ will not let us down? And that is so important. The only time Jesus got angry with the disciples is when they would not believe him. Now I'm asking you the question. I looked up the Oxford Dictionary to find out the literal meaning of the word faithfulness, and this is what it says. Remaining loyal and steadfast. Now, if you're going to remain loyal and steadfast to the Lord, you've got absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? You know, if we look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13, and these three remain, okay? Faith, hope, and love. So faith is right in the top three. It's so important to be faithful. Why? Why do we have to do that? Because God is faithful to you and me. You know, a young man wrote me a letter last week. I was very sad about it. He's a young married man. He says in the letter he's married to a beautiful young lady. He's very much in love with her, but he is upsetting her and he wants to know what must he do about it. He says that he talks a lot to young girls. And he actually said, not married women either. I don't know why he said that. He says he speaks to them on the cell phone, he speaks to them in the office, because he really enjoys their company. But it upsets his wife. Now, to me, you don't have to think about that one. I want to say to you, young man, don't talk to any young woman who's not your wife. Why? Because you are being unfaithful to her. No, but I don't mean anything by it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We need to be so careful, folks, that we remain faithful to God. You cannot walk on that knife edge, because you're going to fall off one of these days and you're going to cause yourself a terrible injury. I told him, I said, you'll lose your marriage, you carry on like that. It's upsetting your wife. Why are you talking to young women anyway? They've got nothing to do with you. You only have one wife. Remember Braveheart, one of my favorite movies, maybe because I've got some Scots blood in me? When William Wallace was defeating the English and those knights with their armor on, the one knight fell off his horse and William Wallace went up to him and pulled the helmet off his head. And who was it? It was Robert the Bruce, the future king of Scotland. He was so devastated by the unfaithfulness of Robert the Bruce that he just sat down and he gave up. Don't be unfaithful. Jesus is faithful to you. We must be faithful to him. God bless you and goodbye.